Okay, this is ICS321. This is spring 2021. Today is Tuesday, January 19th. It's the first video of the semester. It's the second week of class. And so I'd like to have these weekly class sessions for the rest of the semester. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so I have my chat window here, and if you want to ask any questions, just send me a chat. Why don't I get started by if you open up Laulima, this is the website, and we're going to be, if you click on syllabus, this is going to be our main guide here. Okay, so I'm not going to have any extra, web page for every week or anything like that. It's all basically going to be here, and then we're going to have these weekly sessions a couple times a week at least. And I'm videoing this, and then it's going to be put online in about 2 hours after the class is over. And so everyone you should watch the video if you don't, come live. In fact, you should watch the video anyway, because I'm going to do things like I'll do assignments, I'll do some of the assignments, I'll do some of the quizzes, and answer your questions, and have announcements and everything. Although if it's an important announcement, I'm sure I'll say it more than once. All right, so this is we're all on Zoom here. So I've created this When is Good program here. And so I'd like you all to use it and keep it up to date. And I'm going to change it every week, or it'll probably change every week, because there'll be spots that open up, and also some of the times might change a little bit. You'll notice what it looks like now is different than what you filled out earlier. But what I do is I have another screen that looks like this, and this is what I use to schedule the sessions during the week. So the one we're doing right now is I happen to be teaching 5 classes this semester. I'm doing this one overload, and so most people don't teach as many classes, but this semester I just happen to be. And so these are all my classes up here, and so I've asked all my students to fill out this form, and then what I do is this program runs, and let's go back to what it is for this class. This program runs, and it tries every combination, all the number of, okay, so there's 6, there are, this week there's 26 class sessions, and so I try all the combinations for if we were just to do 1 period per class, and that's this first one here. And the best one is Tuesday it's this day, which whenever it is, Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. and we can see that 20 people are covered and 19 are not, so that's a bad one. If I do 2 periods per week, there's 1 pair of sessions where I get 32 people covered, 7 excluded. If I do 3, the best I can do is 36. If I do 4, there's 1 that ends up, there's many combinations, but in each case, 1 person ends up not being excluded. And then if I do 5 periods a week, then I can get everybody. I can't do 5 periods a week, that's too many. But what I can do is if I do say choose this schedule, I can spread it out over a couple weeks. So maybe I'll do 2 1 week and 3 the next week or something like that. So over a 2-week period, everybody would have a chance to attend a synchronous class like this, live, if they want to. And the reason you'd want to is because is because you may have a question that you want to ask, or something that you want me to go through. All right. So this is how it ended up this week. And so this week I'm teaching this class right now, and these are all, and then I'm also going to teach this class on Friday at noon. And so this week it'll be these two classes. And I'm going to adjust the number depending on how important, or what's going on that week for whichever class. This class here, this ICS321, it's the entry level. It's like the ICS111 class, but at KCC it's a different class. It's Python, but it's beginning programming, and so you'll see I'm teaching this 4 times this week just to get them started. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. And so if you don't really care at all about when I schedule the class periods, if you're just going to watch the videos anyway and you don't have any interest in showing up live, then don't bother filling this out, because then it won't consider it. It only considers those that have filled it out. But if you are going to fill it out, then the more you check off, the better. And by checking them off, that doesn't mean that they're going to be that day. It just means that it's an option for that day. And so this is what I have now. And for the next couple of weeks, my Mondays are pretty busy all throughout the day, which is why there's no slots open here. But so these are going to change, and you can fill it out. If there's really an interest for me to go on a Saturday, I can do that. If there's really an interest for me to go beyond 4:30, I can do that too. So just let me know. All right. So so if we look at the syllabus, this is I was looking at the syllabus over here, wasn't I? Okay, right. So there's 3 sort of things going on here. There's these Laulima quizzes, and there are these SQL assignments, and then there's this zyBooks. Okay, now I'm kind of transitioning from the textbook that is used for Laulima quizzes. I'm sort of transitioning from that to this textbook, which is zyBooks. I kind of like zyBooks, but the trouble is these these database classes, these upper division database classes for 4-year university type computer science degrees. There's got to be there's got to be like a mathematical component or a theoretical component or some way of representing what we're doing mathematically, and we discuss it that way. And if you take various database classes, even at UH, the one in 354 in the ITM department over at Scheidler, and other instructors that teach this course, they will also introduce you to a language for expressing the operations that we do in this relational algebra. And so this does that. This CJ Date, he does it in a real comfortable way, real pleasant set of videos here. And so I've sort of kept this, and I've kept the 15 quizzes. There's lots of video help in the resources here that can help you get through those quizzes, and I'll go through those in this class, as the semester goes on. Some of them are easy, and some of them are not so easy. I'll probably do one today. Okay, then the second is there's these SQL assignments, and those are posted up over here under assignments. And maybe I should change that label to SQL assignments. But we have there's 7 assignments here, and they're all of equal weight, and they're all going to be done on on a server that has been assigned to you. And did I might have to change. Oh yeah, I gotta change this because yeah. All right, so for example, here's a first assignment, and you're supposed to you log into your. I gotta change something first. Let me just go back here and go to edit and the URLs are wrong for this. This URL is wrong. It should be SP21. SP21. And this one down here should also be SP21. SP21. All right. Because otherwise you'll go to last semester's and you'll type in your stuff and it won't work, and what the heck, and you'll be emailing me thinking it's all messed up, and we don't want that. So let's repost this. And now let's go to it. And in fact, I'm going to go to it as a student. See, this is my student. See, I look different over here. So ICS321, if we go to assignments, it's going to look like this. Yours is going to look like this. And let's go to this assignment. And the first one, and I've done all the assignments, so we can see how they look when they're all done. Okay, so for this one, you start out by setting up your server. And everybody's got a server at this address. Okay, it's your US username, followed by .ics321, followed by that should be .com. So me, my username is Richard H. And my email address is richardh@hawaii.edu. So richardh.ics321.com, and this is my server here. And so anyway, and this might be what it look like. Yours will look like at the end. I don't know. Might have some other stuff on it. But you know, so but this is not a website course. This is a database course. So we're just using the server, and we're using the MySQL server on your. This is an Apache stack. We're using the MySQL server, so you can see what it's like to design databases on a real life, something that if you were to actually go off and do it in the real world. Also, it's set up so it's easy for me to grade. Okay, so that's why I do this. So we have that. So you're supposed to the first thing you're supposed to log in, and logging in looks like this. You go to cPanel, and then you type in your username, Richard H, and then you type in the password, and the password is it looks like this. Okay. It looks like this. And XY is your last name initial capitalized, and this is your first name initial lowercase, and then your 8-digit UHID, and then the characters %, hashtag, exclamation part. And so mine is, H, capital H, lowercase r, and then my 102.99 whatever, and then a %, pound sign, exclamation point. And so that's what I type in there for my password. And then I go in, log in, and yours should look like this, just like this. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go over to the file manager, and you're going to go to public HTML, and you're going to go in and you're going to mess with the .htaccess file. And if you don't see the .htaccess file when you log in, you should have one there. You should go to settings, and you have to say show hidden files and make sure that's checked. The default is it's not checked, so you're probably gonna have to do this. But then you're able to see the hidden files, and all hidden files are files that start with a period. So you don't see them when you do something like this. You don't see any hidden files. That's why they're hidden. But anyway, or if there's not one there, you might have to create one. So you click here and you name it .htaccess right here. But I think you have one in there already. So then you edit it, and you're supposed to add these 3 lines up at the top. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm pretty sure that you're going to have an .htaccess file with this in it. But you have to add this, and what this does is this makes it so when anyone ever goes to your website, it flips over to the HTTPS, okay, secure server. So that's all that is. But once you set that up, then you're going to go to does this work on this one? Let me see. Go to here. Go to here. This is where you. Yes. Okay. And this is the URL I just fixed. Okay. So this is where you go to test all your assignments. Okay. You test your assignments here, and this will tell you if you're going to get all the points. So if you're doing these assignments and you have an assignment where you don't get all the points, well, you will know that you didn't get all the points. Okay, you may choose. There might be something that's just real hard for you, and you say, "Oh, I have enough points," or whatever. Or you may want to just keep on working on it to get all the points. But so here we can test to see if the redirect thing works. So click on this. Oh, first you have to log in, and I want you to use this because if you decide you want to change your password, then if you use this thing to test your stuff, then I will record your new password. Okay, and then I can test your stuff. Then I can grade your stuff. And so that way you can change your password, but I'll still have it. It'll still get recorded, so I can still grade your stuff. Otherwise, if I have a problem grading it, then I'll just have to change your password back to what it originally was, and then but hopefully that'll work. But anyway, so you type in your username and your password, the same one that you used to get at the cPanel, and then you can click submit here, and you can click to see if the redirect test works. And look, it went to HTTPS. Okay, so no, that's not. This thing tests it. It doesn't have anything to do with this. Sorry. So it tries to go here, and it does this behind the scenes, and it got redirected to here. Good. So it passed the test. So that's how you test this, and then and you get some points for that. I'm not sure what the points are, but 10 points or something. Anyway, and then here you're actually creating these 3 tables. Okay, and you're supposed to do certain things. You're supposed to delete some records and so on. Once you do steps 1 through 4, you can check to see what the tables look like, and the tables will look so right after step 4, but just before you start step part 5, you can click here to look at it. Oops, I need to have my just to remember. This one works. click here. The reason I didn't get all the points is because the last part of this problem, you do these things to change this. And so really what happens is at the very end, you click here and this says, yes, you got all the points. Okay. So as I said, I've done all these already. So as I go through, and then I do, there's another final test here, which actually tests to make sure that the contents of the tables are exactly as they should be. So this checks that. So here I got all the points. So so basically for all 7 of the assignments, you're able to check to make sure that everything is right here. Here you're creating some APIs. You're writing some APIs. And so you click here and this tests. This goes through a big long test, tests a bunch of stuff to make sure your API is correct. Got all that. So that's this auto grading, and that has to do with these assignments here. These assignments, 1 through 7. All right, so that's where's the syllabus? So that's SQL assignments, and then the rest is this iBooks, and so this textbook is not really ready for prime time yet for it to be the only textbook of the class, and they sort of understand that. And I kind of beta tested this last summer. We used it last fall. In the spring now, they actually have some labs, and the labs are the real deal. You actually write SQL statements. So it's kind of getting closer to prime time. So I'm putting more weight on those, and so now I'd like to go over. Let's see. Let's go through. That's this textbook here. Okay. So let's see what else is in here. Here's the announcements. So I'm going to be posting announcements, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if it's something like I haven't decided how I'm going to do these, but the trouble with posting announcements is that you get an email, but you can't reply to the email. And when you reply to the email, it doesn't go to me, or at least I don't think it does. So I might do email blasts using the email tool here. But anyway, forums, I'm going to post some other stuff up here. Got to read those, and I will read those. Okay, so here's the tests and quizzes, and here are all the quizzes. They're all posted up. Okay, so there's 15 quizzes, and what you do is go to resources. Go to resources. This is an important part. Okay, important part of the class. You should in resources. These are videos from when I taught the course in fall 2019. I made a video for every class. This is just some stuff for reference. For spring 2020 videos, I didn't do as many videos. Summer 2020 videos, I didn't do as many videos. So, but I still use the same assignments and so on. The assignment numbering has changed a little bit, but there may be some times when you want to go back there. This textbook materials is pretty important because here are all the slides for his course. He has a course which uses this textbook as the textbook. It's sort of a seminar course, and so I have here. There's this, which you should purchase the textbook and have a hard copy, but if in a pinch you can, I don't know if this, well, anyway, you can take a look at what this is. Okay. And then there used to be a second textbook that we use for this class, which is this one. So this is the textbook for the class. It's a pretty good book, and you'll understand everything. Relational theory for computer professionals. And then this was the sort of the second textbook, and there's another version of it, which is just the same contents, but anyway, it's around here someplace. That's that one, and then there's another one here. Okay, now this is the important one, the video series. Okay, these are the lectures, and these are the chapters, and so these are the, down the line here. There's chapters. For these are the chapter 1 videos. These are the chapter 2 videos, or these are the chapter 3 videos, and it's exactly the content of this book here. It's all, and these are the slides. I showed you the slides that he used, but these are actually they're very pleasant videos. They don't take very long to watch.
Well, hi, and welcome everybody. Let me welcome you to the seminar. The title is Relational Theory, that's Relational Database Theory for Computer Professionals. And this is me, Chris Date, and please call me Chris if you ask questions. And yes, by the way, please ask questions anytime you like.
Okay,
Notice
so
that this is supposed to be for computer professionals.
So that's it's pretty easy to listen to, and you watch those videos, and you don't have to watch them all, but you watch the ones that you need to watch to take the quizzes. And so here's the quizzes, and they are did I number them? Let me look in the overview. Oh, no, let me look in the syllabus. I thought I connected them to the chapters. Yeah, oh, here's where I connect up. Okay, so the quizzes here. These are all the quizzes, one for each week. And this is what the chapters are on. So these are the chapters of the videos that you have to watch. Okay, so you can watch, for chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 4, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 5, and so on. And so you see, you don't have to watch all the chapters. Up to about 11 or 12 or so. But what I would do first, of course, is I would first go to the assignment. Let's do this one. Go to the quiz. And no, this is me. This one. Go to the quiz and click on the first one, and so let's see what it looks like. Begin assessment. Okay, okay, let's 7 questions. Consider the data controls that a database provides. What type of control would not allow you to delete a supplier that has a shipment in transit? So this is database integrity. So what concurrency, recovery, integrity? Okay, so in databases, you're able to you set up these constraints, and then like if you have a shipment that connects to a supplier, and the supplier is a record in another table, and then someone comes along and tries to delete that supplier. Well, the fact that there is a shipment that's still connected to that supplier, then it would lose information. It would have this shipment in there, and it's connected to nowhere. And so the database keeps you from being able to delete the supplier. But you can't delete the supplier until there's no other references to it. Then the database allows you to delete it. And that's database integrity. So it's this one. Integrity. When the power goes out and no data is lost, that would be probably recovery. Considering the data controls, which accommodates this concurrency. A lot of people can do a lot of things all at the same time. Consider explicit authorization. That would be security. And then consider which the following expression. Okay, which tuples are included? Okay, so this is where we start. I told you talking about mathematically expressing the relations between the data and so on. that's this, okay? Because this isn't really SQL. This is he has a name. I can't remember what the name of his language is offhand. I keep anyway. I can't remember what the name of his language is offhand. But anyway, so we're supposed to answer this. Consider the supplier parts database on the following expression: P, where weight is less than 12.5. Which tuples are included in the result? Okay, so this defines a set. Okay, and so what's the result of this set of? And so here's a bunch of tuples. Okay, so its weight is less than 12.5. Well, what are all the ones where the weight is less than 12.5? That'd be this one, and that'd be this one. For both of those, the weight of these P's is less, so it's this one and this one. So this has two answers. Yeah, okay, so what's next? Okay, so now this is a similar kind of thing, but here we're actually doing an action. Here we're actually going to change something. We're going to change the P. We're going to change P. Whereas with the last one, we were only expressing. We were saying, okay, what are all the ones that are in there that are less than 12.5? And it tells you what they are, but it doesn't change anything. It just gives you an answer. Whereas this thing, we're actually performing an action, and that is deleting. So if we take P and we delete all of the records in P where the weight is greater than or equal to 12.5, which ones are included and by the result, we mean what's left. Okay, what's left? Well, what's left is all of the P's where the weight is less than 12.5. That's what's left. Okay, so it's these again. That's what's left. If you delete all the P's where the weight is greater than or equal to 12.5, so that means you're deleting A and B and C and F, and what's left is D and E. And that's what you're supposed to say. That's the result. And so that's what the answer to that question is. And this last. What's the difference between 5 and 6? Can you go back? I guess you can go back. Well, I've elaborated on it. 6 contains exactly the tuples. No, that's not true. The order of the tuple, no. Executing the expression in 5 does not change P, whereas executing a statement in 6 does change P. Aha, that's the answer. Executing the expression in 5 changes P, whereas, okay, that's the opposite of what it is. And then no different. Okay, so that's the answer, C. So now I can submit for grading. I'm about to submit for grading. Okay, so I have 3. The number of tries you get is different for each one, but it's enough. So if you're smart, there's only that number of combinations that you can try. Okay, so I'm going to say continue. Does it tell me the answer? How do I find out the answer? Oh, I go to gradebook. Oh, shoot. I got to add this. Oh, okay, there it is. So I got 10 out of 10. Now I have it set up so after you do a quiz, you can go and see what your score is. And if you don't have all the points, then you can go back and take the quiz again. And I think I also have it set up where it gives you I don't think it tells you. Well, anyway, you have to pay attention because it gives you clues. I have it set up to give you as many clues as I can set it up for to help you if you have to take it multiple times. Now, you may ask why the due date is so late. Okay, now the due date is late. Okay, I really want you to do this due date. The due date I have here. But the reason I have them set Oh, yes, okay, right. So someone just, oh, by the way, you all should be able to see the chat. And if you send a chat that's just to me, then I will respect that you don't want, you know, it it announced to everybody. Yes, okay, good, thanks. Um, all right, so you have that feedback, uh, and but these dates here are if you take the quiz before the due date, before this due date, then if I give you 4 chances to get the quiz correct, you get the 4 chances. After this date, you don't get the 4 chances anymore. If you haven't taken the quiz, you only get 1 chance. You still take the quiz, but you only get 1 chance. Okay, so that's after this date, and then the drop dead date is like it's like May 50. Okay, so it's like May 16th. It's like midnight, May 16th or something. Is the absolute last day that you can take the quiz. After that, it doesn't count anymore. After that, you have to, if you, I mean, I don't want to ruin anybody's career or anything. So if it's May 16th and you still have a bunch of quiz that you haven't taken, you can ask for incomplete. I'll give you incomplete. But all right, so those are all the quizzes, and just so you know that some of them are, they're not, you know, they can be kind of tricky, and you want to. So here's one where you've got you're doing something called matching and image relations, and this is sort of the relational theory side of relational algebra. This is and we don't really, when we're doing SQL statements, we don't really talk about matching. We don't really talk about image relations. But once you learn about them, and you're going to learn about them in this class, you you can see, when you're out in the real world and you're writing SQL code, you oftentimes will think in terms of these, and you might not implement them just like this, but the concept of an image relation, for example, is pretty useful, and you'll see that as we go along, but you may not ever really write an SQL statement that produces an image relation. Anyway, so here you want to, what rows and columns in the two relations must you keep, so you end up with the relation this, and so basically what you have to do is there's each column is identified and each row is identified, and you are supposed to all the columns and rows that you don't check off are the ones to be deleted. So you identify which columns and rows that you want to keep. So so what you end up is the result of this expression. So anyway, and these quizzes have different varying points, because this one's 4 points, and there's a lot of combinations here, and so there's a lot of ways you can get it wrong. All right, so it's 410. So I think I've covered everything. All right, so I've covered everything out of La Lima, I believe. Resources. So let's go into Zybooks and see what that looks like. Zybooks. Z1. Let's go into this search here. Here we are. I haven't really, I didn't, well, this is a really new textbook, this database systems textbook at Zybooks, and they're adding to it all the time. And the thing is, they're timing their timing for adding to it is not quite in line with semesters. And so they added a bunch of stuff right about 2 weeks after the fall semester started. And so I couldn't really incorporate it in. And but anyway, what they did, what is new is these Xylabs at the end here. These are all a bunch of little exercises where you actually, type in an SQL statement, and you click on it, and it has to, got these tables, and you're supposed to write a select statement to do something. And so all of these kinds of problems are at the end. They're all in chapter 12. But in the other chapters, there are these things called, let me just, okay, there's these things called these are all the things that you can get points for. There's participation activities, there's challenge activities, and there's Xylabs. And the participation activities, they're just things like animations and little quizzes and everything. And you just answer them, and you keep on answering them until you get all the points. And you can do it the way where you're paying attention and learning, and you're reading, and you try to get the right answer. Or if you're impatient, you can click on this link a couple times, and it'll tell you the answer, and then you can fill that in. But there's no reason why you shouldn't get all the participation activity points. Okay, and then the challenge activities, they, again, you can take as many chances as many tries as you need to find the correct answer. These challenge activities are all progressions, though. So they aren't things where you type in an SQL statement and it tells you if it's correct or not. But the Xylabs are. So let's take a look at what some of these are. Go back here. And so you start with, this is kind of like introductory stuff, talks about data. And so these participation activities, you see, you kind of do these little puzzles. This here is not a puzzle. Well, let's see what this does. I'm going to click on to speak because I get impatient. Start. What are we doing? Data.gov has got a bunch of data. That's nice. There's actually a data.hawaii.gov's got a bunch of state data. This is public data sets, another example of public data sets. And this is more public data sets, light measurements. Okay, fine. Nice. And once I clicked all three of those things, I get a check mark up there, and it's points. I get some points. If I could go back to the syllabus, is 64 in chapter 1. There's 64 points of participation activities, and then we start getting into these challenge activities here. So match the website name with the website's description. Oh, this looks like it's really difficult here. I don't know. Correct. 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 It's Xylabs as part of your grade. So you do all these things, and this looks simple. But when you get a little farther down, you get into more theoretical stuff. Database design is pretty important stuff. Structured SQL, we're going to learn all about SQL here. Subqueries, this is all important stuff. Database programming, we're going to learn about this. And a lot of this is going to lead into the assignments, the SQL assignments. Like you're going to write triggers and store procedures and in your SQL assignments. Python, I can show you how to use some Python. You can write some. We are actually going to write APIs in PHP, but you know, I can show you some Python too if you're interested. I'm teaching another class right now where we're doing Python, doing this stuff in writing some APIs in Python, so it would fit right in. Anyway, so what happens is as you do all these things, let me go to reporting. So let me go to this. It actually shows the points here. 64 points participation, 138 points participation. There's no. This is chapter 3 has 15 points challenge activities, and there's weights. Do I put the weights in here? I actually break. Oh, here. Participation activities is 15%. Challenge activities is 5%, and Xylabs is 10%. So these are the actual percentages, the weight. So here 15%. All you gotta do is click through all those things, and you get 15%. Same with these, and so these you should be able to do, and I don't even have to go over them in class. Although I may go over like I am today, just so you kind of figure out what's going on, and to show you that. But other than that, it's really stuff you can do and read on your own. Challenge activities. Some of these challenge activities can be kind of challenging. And if you'd like me to go over some challenge activities, just let me know. And I think I'm going to put that as one of the discussion items on the forum. And so I can do those in class in these sessions if you want, and help you out. And definitely with the Xylabs in the end, or end the assignments and so on. Quizzes. I want to use the class time here to show you how to do stuff. And so, you know, if you're stuck on something, you can follow along, and there'll be a video. So you follow along, start, stop, and if you just step by step, you should be able to get, you know. And I'll carry you through almost all the way to the end. But a lot of you won't need to follow along step by step, because after a while you'll get the hang of it, and you'll be able just to jam through it. But you know, some parts of it may be easy of this. Some parts may be more difficult. We're going to be writing triggers. We're going to be writing stored procedures. We're going to be writing code in a new language. We're going to be using MySQL language, and it's a procedural language with conditionals and so on. And so you'll and you may like that, or instead you might really like just writing SQL. What the thing about SQL is you know, you write an SQL statement, and that's it. I mean, a lot of database programming is writing one statement. You write that one statement, and then that's what you use, and you've done your work for that afternoon. And these statements can have all these nested parts. You know, you can have a select statement within a select statement within where a tables can be, and so on. And that's all because in this relational algebra, you have this property called closure, which Date talks about in his lectures, and it's because of that that you can nest these statements very conveniently and end up with one statement that can, you know, do all kinds of stuff. So anyway, so let's go back to got about 20 minutes left. So here So there's challenge activities starting in chapter 2. And so what this is telling me is that the class, I think the class must be like 91% done with with chapter 1. So you're all starting to work on, and this is for all of you that have signed up for the textbook. But what I do is I select chapters, and then I click download report, and it downloads this spreadsheet that's got all of your names in there because you've signed up, and then it's got your scores, and then I copy that over into something, and I have a little program which converts it into the format which I can import the grades up to La Lima. And I do that. But so there's these challenge activities, and then all of the labs over here are in chapter 12. So let's just take a look at what a challenge activity would look like. Looks like there's one here in chapter 2, part 1 of chapter 2. Here's a challenge activity. Okay, so let's see what this is about. You have a relational relational model. E.F. Codd is the guy that came up with all this stuff back in the 70s. He worked at IBM, and before, so he came up with where the tables is the main structure, and what date does is he looks at a table like a data type. You have data types, you have integers, you have you have integers, you have strings, you have lists, you have arrays, and you can also have a table or a relation. It's called a relation. And there's operations that relations, you can do operations on each other. You have two relations, and you have an operator in the middle, and you execute, you compute that expression, and the resulting is another relation. And so that's what that's what this textbook is all about. And it's nice, and it's an easy way to think about all this stuff. But anyway, this talks about introduces you to some terminology and so on. Okay, so database models. Which database is relational? Gee, I don't. You got to read this and find out. So is this the one? Yes. So look, relational model was originally developed for which types of applications? I don't know. You're gonna have to read this. Domain tuples. Yeah, terminology is similar, the same, I guess. Relations have no inherent order. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So these are terminology: tuples, rows, records, relations, tables, files, attributes, fields, domain. So that's good. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so here we're talking about integrity rules. Okay, so here, for example, when you try to delete Sam Snead is ID 384 in this task database table. You still have Sam Snead assigned to stuff, so you can't delete Sam Snead because otherwise you have these orphans. So if you want to delete Sam Snead, you got to delete these two records first. Then you can delete Sam Snead. Or you can do cascading deletes, where if you delete Sam Snead, it's automatically going to delete these two also. And by the way, you'll be able to set up your databases and your tables and so on to do that. The first assignment here is setting up that, basically. You'll see. All right, so let's see what this looks like when you start it. Got that? Okay, now what? You want to delete that. Oh, it deletes those two. Okay, so it just that's all it shows. All right, so define these things, keys. Now, what is this? Which of the following are equivalent in the relational tuple? Okay, let's start this thing. Which of the following are equivalent to the relational tuple OM, almond, and muscat? Okay, so in a tuple, it does not matter the order. I don't think. So we got to have the OM, the OMAM, and the muscat. So this is one of them. OM, muscat, OMAN. So this might be one of them also. OMAN. It's OMAN. OMAN. Okay. Okay. And muscat. Okay. Not this. Okay. So is that right? Is this right? Yes, it's right. The reason is because order doesn't count. Okay, so let's go next. Select the correct database term corresponding to the following mathematical terms. Pick. What am I supposed to do here? Column, what? Oh, no. What is attribute? Attribute is the same as, oh, yes, no, you're, good point. Yeah, I do want to end these on time because so people get the whole thing. Anyway, so you should be able to, so what's the same as attribute? It's the same as, oh, it's the same as a column. Anyway, so that's all I have for today. If we go to, I'm gonna be, so there'll be another class on Friday at 12 noon, and be sure you go and check off your when is good, because on Saturday then I will redo this whole thing and come up with a new schedule for next week. All right. Are there any questions?
I have a question or two.
Yes. Sure.
Yeah. So is Friday going to be the same class, like the same subject matter?
No, probably not. No, probably not. But there'll be a recording, so you know.
Okay. Right, thank you.
All right.
In regards to, sorry, I don't know if I should just kind of go. I'm just going to keep going. In regards to the When is Good website, so you have our, username and password saved there. Is that from the Manoa database, or are you using
yeah, the password is your 8-digit UHID. That's all I have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So your it's your UHID is your 8-digit is sort of private. So that's I suppose that's private enough.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. All right. So if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll see you. And some of you I know have sent me emails. I'll answer your emails. Thanks for watching.